just got to work, and they said they needed me to go on a little field trip. So that's what I'm doing, driving a compactor or something that jumps up and down and smashes sand and shit into the floor. I don't know if this camera angle is gonna work. I don't know if it's going to stay. Took a run this morning. Did 8 miles from Blueberry Hill to the beach and back. And I think I might be able to get 30 miles this week. It's just been kind of difficult the last 2-3 weeks. Even the last month, I think, it's just been, with the girls being off from school, and that is good. The girls being off school, and then just my folks were gone on vacay, so then I had to take a couple days off, and I just realized there hasn't been like a full week many times. Forgot this is such a rough ride in this truck. There just hasn't been a week where I've been able to go to work like all 5 days really, which as of late has been the most consistent way to run. Is I just can't run at night anymore. I mean, I physically can, but it's so hard to get yourself motivated after a whole day of working and walking around, maybe practicing, and then eating food, and then and I would just usually go run and then just try to get it over with, and it wouldn't be super long, and then I would come back and most likely eat again. And the best pocket that I ever got, let me switch this around. The best pocket that I ever got going was, oh man, look at this thing all sucky. Whatever. This phone's so dead anyways. The best pocket of eating, running, and like not eating late at night was, I think, when I could wake up. I don't have 2 kids. I could wake up and go like in the morning at 3 or 4, come back, shower, and then take care of business. And then it wasn't hard to not eat at night because I would just kind of be pretty exhausted from getting up early. I would just kind of go straight to bed. But I figured I could never really maintain all that for one reason or another. I just couldn't. That's what everyone struggles with, is that consistency to eat healthy or not eat healthy, and it's freaking difficult, man. Super difficult. I can't figure out a camera angle that works. About this, but now I gotta hold it, and I'm all over the place. But I was thinking, as I was running, and my knee was already like sore this morning before I even started. Like, I woke up and it just a sore. It wasn't painful, but just like, and then I didn't feel my knee hardly at all. But you'd be running, and you know it's difficult, and it's not so difficult that I'm just not gonna ever do it again, but it's difficult in the way that you want to just like stop. But I also know that I'll feel so much better that I've got a workout and my body exercised, and got some stress out through literally like running it out, and then I thought about doing a little video, or a little one of our episodes on our pod about why I do like running. And I thought, I could think of a couple reasons, maybe 3, maybe 4, and I wondered if maybe a few more might crop up. So definitely, first and foremost, it's good for you physically. You can burn calories. You can increase your cardiovascular stamina. So like when you do play sports, or maybe you're doing the sport of running, and you get better, you can run longer, and it's good for your, I want to say like blood pressure or something, but it's good to get exercise, walking or running or playing sports, anything that gets your blood pumping, and then you're sweating, and then you're burning calories. So obviously everybody knows that it's good for you. It's just kind of, I don't know, I think some people don't like it because you're just running, but I like it because it gives me reason number 2. So reason number 1, it's good for you. Reason number 2, it gives you a chance just to crawl back inside of your own brain and have some time to think about important stuff or things you're pondering, or not, or you can just zone out and listen to music or a podcast and basically do something you were going to do at some point during the day anyways, but now you're getting exercise at the same time. So that's a good reason also. It's just for reflection, because you're going to reflect at some point anyways during the day. Might not be a lot all at once, but I think for me it's probably the times I reflect the most. So I'm really not trying to be stuck with my own thoughts, because that makes me a little anxious. I just started like beating myself up, and I have low self-esteem, and part of the reason that I am always listening to music or podcasts or watching or trying to, when I'm not doing something, is I don't want to be alone with my thoughts and just crop up all the regrets that I have in life. And I think the saying, try to live your life with no regrets, and I'm sure some people figure it out and do that, but I think most people don't. I think most people do live with some regrets, and I think that is completely normal. Very normal. It's super hot in here, dude. I'm gonna keep talking, but I know you're just gonna be looking at the roof as I put these things down. So that was number 2. It's good for as a time to just be with yourself and crawl into your own brain and reflect if need be. I thought of a third reason why I like running is that there's good people out there. Most of the people you come across when you're running, they're either walking, running, or riding their bikes also. And 9 out of 10 times they give you a smile or a nod, and it's kind of an acknowledgement that we're all out here doing something that's good for ourselves. And that it's like, also I feel like it's a, hey, good for you. We all got out and we're doing something good for ourselves, and we know the importance of it. Even if it's only 15 minutes or it's an hour, or I've been on an hour and 45-minute run one time, and that was super difficult too. And that was one thing I reflected on, going back to my second one today. I reflected on that today is, last year I ran a half marathon,
albeit on my own at the beach with no one else watching, but I ran 13.11 miles in like an hour and 46 minutes, I believe. And that was like right when I got my shin splint too, but I'm pretty proud of that and feel pretty accomplished by that. And it was not as difficult as I had thought it would have been. But anyways, yeah. But number 3 was, the acknowledgement of the community, really. The people that are all doing what you're doing, exercising, and it feels good. It feels good for someone to give you some sort of credit for getting out there. And I thought of another reason that's, I thought, kind of cool. Not cool, but it's a reason, and it makes you feel good also. Maybe not in the most genuine way, but if you run past some people that aren't exercising, or they're smoking, or they're coming out of a fast food establishment, even though I eat fast food quite often, they see you running and they kind of get a disappointed look on their face, or they're kind of a look that's like, fuck you, buddy, with your running and exercising and shit. And and that's a fun reason also, is maybe me running by some dude that's having his 7th cigarette of the day, maybe he sees me and he knows, he says, fuck you, not to me, but which has never happened, but it's the look or the sense and the feel in the air that I get, where they know they shouldn't be smoking and they should be exercising more. Maybe that guy quits that, or that girl quits that day, and then they start exercising the next day. I don't know, but I thought that was another reason why I like running. And it's just sometimes making other people feel different it makes you feel better, I guess. I think another reason why I like running is it's a hard thing to do, and I think a lot of people don't like it. And I think I've always wanted to be a little bit different, be into things that people aren't. And when you tell them you ran like 8 miles, or you tell them where you ran, and they're like, whoa, and sometimes they don't even ask how far it was, when in reality, you tell somebody you ran 8 miles and they're like, whoa, but it's really not that much. It's really not that far once you've done it a while, and I've 13, that's as far as I've run before that, 13.11, but even that was like, I just zoned out for a good 9 or 8 miles of that, really. And then when I think I was just listening to music that day, but it happened. But numbers sound a lot, and I don't think people either understand how far places really are. Because when I ran from my house to my parents' house and back, and I was like, wow, that seemed so far, but it was only about 4.5 miles to my folks' house. But when you drive in a car, and I'm just never paying attention to how far stuff is, but when you compare normal places that you drive to, and then you go and run one of those places, it makes it seem a lot more difficult. When in reality, it wasn't any farther because I ran than if I drove. But I think I just like running because it's something not everybody really wants to do, but I love it, and the love for it. Like, I've been running again since probably, I know I started a little bit back in San Diego when I was working at the parking garage, because because I hadn't really exercised besides skateboarding, which I did pretty often, I'd say. I might have took a year or two combined off, but in college, I didn't play volleyball anymore, and I wasn't running until till after college when I was working, and I was just getting fatter because I was eating, a lot of fast food and drinking a lot and smoking a lot of Buddha, and then, that makes eating Cheetos and gummies and whatnot. But anyways, I was probably about, 200 pounds, I think. I never weighed myself, but looking back now, I'd say I was close or on the 200 mark. And sorry, there's lanes merging, and I'm behind a freaking flatbed, which is okay because I don't even know how fast I'm going because the speedometer's sus on this truck. But yeah, my man, I don't know if I ever had plans of trying to teach down in San Diego. I don't think I did. So I graduated from the credential program in like May or whatever of 2008. Yeah, and then I needed a summer job until school's gonna start. So the plan was to apply for some teaching positions during the summer, hopefully get one, and then stay down there and teach. Yeah, it's beautiful. That's the way dreams are made of. But I needed to have like a summer job. I mean, I agreed too. I didn't want one, but I needed one. So my roommate was working at a parking garage, 5-star parking. And so I think I asked him, or he mentioned he could put in a good word. Anyways, might have been, one of the nicer things that dude did for me. Not friends with him anymore, but anyways, that's a story for another day. So I got the job at a parking garage in downtown San Diego, and basically you take people's money in the parking garage, or they just scan the little badge and you give them the nod and the wave, or they come through with a lot of the businesses had little stickers that they would validate your parking with. So it was pretty easy. But my shifts were like 2 in the afternoon until 8 at night. And then Saturday was I want to say like 8:30 to like 5 or something. Saturday was a pretty big day, and like nobody was there. I'm not even sure why they had us work on Saturdays. But I did work just enough to be under the 40 hours, so they didn't have to pay me benefits. So I was like technically part-time, but I made like 38 hours or something. I don't know. That equated to, I think I made like $550 a paycheck, like every 2 weeks or something. 2 weeks? Yeah, that sounds about right. Is that right? Something like that. It wasn't a lot, but like I lived in my parents' condo, so I wasn't paying rent. That was just for bills and food. So yeah, what was it like $1,100 a month? That was enough. So I would come home from work at 8 o'clock. I would go to a little taco spot by my house, get some taquitos, and then go to the liquor store next door and get like a 32 a High Life and then some snacks, and go home, get all blazed, and drink my beer, eat my foods, stay up late being high and eating food, and then wake up the next day and lounge around until 1 o'clock, take a shower, yada yada yada. So So yeah, that was my my schedule for a while, and then I just started getting fat. And I think for whatever, then I just started running, and I didn't have like a way to like clock the miles or anything, but I probably was doing, about 3 or so every, probably, I don't know what the consistency was, but I remember I started running down there, and then I got a little, I remember because my pant, they gave me some pants that were super small that did not fit like at all, and the other pants they gave me were like super big. They were just way too big. So I actually liked the smaller pants. They kind of be high waters, but I just couldn't like button them because I was too fat. So I think that was part of the motivation to start losing some weight, was so I could fit in my pants better. And I'm pretty sure I did with the running, and then I want to say I like eliminated soda. So yeah, that was my big plan was, now when I go to Jack in the Box, I'm not gonna get bread. I'm only gonna get like the chicken tenders combo, and I got iced tea instead of soda. And honestly, it's pretty amazing, like when you're 24 years old, something like that actually does have an effect. And it this guy, go ahead there, little dinker car. But that actually helped. I did lose a couple pounds, and I remember my pants fitting a little bit better. And yeah, so I started like running down there, and but I don't remember how consistent I was. Probably not that, but I want to say a couple days a week. I don't think it was every single day. And I had some booty ass shoes too, and I would just kind of run up to the college and through the college. I only lived like a mile away from the college and then back, so I'm sure nothing was more than 4 miles. I was probably just running for time, but yeah. So then when I came back, I did that parking garage deal through the summer. Well, I probably started in like June or July, and then I lasted until about, I don't know, maybe October, November, and it was just, it was kind of a depressing job, and I know my parents weren't super happy about it. And anyways, I moved back home just to be back in familiar surroundings, and I think I just didn't have a better idea, so I just came back to a familiar place where I knew I could at least like substitute and then try to get a job at school. So I came back, I started living with my parents, and I noticed I was still like kind of fat, and I think I was skating a little bit, but when I was back with my parents, I would start running there also. Here and there, I want to say a couple to 3 times a week. And I think I remember that first summer, I would, so I don't think I got a job that summer. I think I just chilled hard. So I would wake up probably 10 or 11, go for a little jog, and then like make a salad and just kind of lounge around. And I did that for that summer. And then what happened the next year? I don't know. Whenever I moved into the house with all my buddies, I started running more then. And I remember it was like the summer of one of those 4 years I was living there, and I remember I was pretty proud of myself because I ran like 7 days in a row, and the route I was doing was, I think, only like 3 miles or something. I think I would always try and run for like a half hour or 40 minutes, but yeah, I remember I ran for like 7 days in a row, and it was about 21 miles, and I felt pretty accomplished like that. So I think another reason why I love running, I think is going to be reason number 6, is I just love the numbers. I love to put up the numbers. I like stats in sport. I love stats, like in volleyball when we were coaching. If someone would pay me just to be a statistician and take stats, I'll do it in a heartbeat, dude.
love stats. Since the Pandy Wandy, I've been like recording my stats, and when I started getting like Nike Run apps and shit, I would start recording my runs, and it was cool. I just like it. I remember the month before Skylar was born, I ran like 101 miles in the whole month, and like that was a cool goal number to hit, and I did.